Welcome to the official AFL Fantasy podcast with the Traders.
G'day, we're the Traders. Thanks to Sportsbet. I'm Roy, would normally be said there, Coach of Destroy, but he's not here. And I'm Warnie, Coach of the Warn Dogs.
And Calvin,
you're
Calvin.
That's how it's done.
Well,
what will we do without Roy?
I don't know.
We're struggling because he's not here.
No.
He's man down at the moment.
On his deathbed.
Well, that's what it sounds like too. I'll tell you what, I have not heard as much whinging come from him
About his trades.
about his trades.
About all the decisions he could have, should have.
Would have. Oh, destroyed.
But.
And it's compounded by the fact that he is, yes, on his deathbed.
And overthinking everything.
He's got too much time.
He does.
Danielle, take the phone away from him.
Yep.
And anyway, poor old Destroyer. Yeah, so he's not here. We'll see if we can try to punch out probably one of the greatest podcast episodes ever.
It'll be up there.
Because it does feature.
It does.
Quite possibly the greatest thing.
Yeah. In podcast history.
That you've ever done. So the bar's pretty low on that. But
That's true.
yeah, Roy's song. We're going to reveal that soon.
Yes. We need to have a talk to him though in a minute.
We will.
Just to find out how it all went.
But before we do get Roy on, we do need to talk about the big elephant in the room.
Oh, we
the one
don't.
that's been eaten this
we
weekend.
don't need to talk about it.
I tell you what, I'd love to go back to those first couple of episodes where you
Yeah.
were swaggy and
I
the way
was.
that you were smoking the Warn Dogs.
I was.
And this week,
Yep.
it might be the record that we've ever had.
It would be the biggest flogging I've ever received.
Warn Dogs, 2,411.
It's a lot. Yep.
Defeated Calvinator, 2,167. That is 244 points.
You've added it up?
204, and I've double checked it because I didn't think it could be that big.
Yeah.
I didn't think anyone could be beaten by that much in a game of fantasy football.
Well, you can. There you go. There's proof right there, Tom.
Fun fact on that, Cow.
Yeah?
That's your same score as last week.
Yeah, right.
What did it do to your ranking, though?
Oh, it plummeted. Absolutely plummeted. So I am well and truly outside. Not well and truly. I am outside the 10,000 club now. Yeah, I know. Outside the 10,000 club. Down 17 spots for the week.
Yeah.
It's just
17 spots.
1,700 spots. Now, I just didn't have any of the big boys, dog.
No. And that's the difference. So my ranking went up 750 spots. So I'm now in the top 2,000, which is nice to be thinking about that as I try to get in that top 1,000.
You had a few of the top 10 scorers, though.
I did. So this is the thing. You know when that graphic gets tweeted out on the Sunday night and you're looking at it, you like to count up. How many of the top 10 scorers did I have?
I don't, but you do. Yeah,
5.
You had 5.
5. How many did you have?
I know the answer to this.
0.
0.
And your highest was 18th on the list.
I know.
That was Zach Merritt with 120, which I had as well. This is our head-to-head matchup.
Oh.
Listen to our uniques here.
Okay.
130, 134, 136, 147, 140, and 118.
Okay.
They were my uniques. So they were the 6 players that I had different to you.
See, a lot of those guys had career best games ever. Or at least season high games.
5 of them were must-have players. Everyone should have Caldwell.
Correct.
Everyone should have Sheasel. Your weasel.
Yes or no?
Everyone should have Rozee by now.
Oh, based on what?
The fact that he got so cheap. And your team needs cheap players.
and even
you
that-
shouldn't be paying up for these
So
players.
this week I was looking at Rozee, but I thought I've got coin here. I'll go to Sarong in that juicy matchup.
Yep.
So my decision making is terrible. Here's the best one I've got for you. At round 11, when I switched Marshall for Xeri,
Yep.
right? Since then, Marshall's averaged 99.
Yes.
Xeri 117. And Xeri has outscored him in every single game. That's my season right there. Thanks for coming.
Good decision-making, Calvin. Just so that for transparency on this, Calvin's 6 uniques, 66,
A Walsh.
98, 101, 106, 102,
They're
88,
good
which
players.
was from a rookie, so you kissed on that one.
They're good players there, dog.
That's not terrible. It's just that the Warn Dogs just stepped up to the plate. They knew they were taking on Calvinator this week and wanted to absolutely pull your pants down.
Anyway, moving on.
That is, moving on. Well, let's actually give Roy a call because as long as, I don't know, he's not getting his hourly observations or whatever,
That's all right.
see how he's going because poor old Destroyer, he's on his deathbed. Let's see if he can even speak. It's ringing, so that's a positive. See what we've got here.
Come on.
Come on, Destroy. Answer your phone. He doesn't want to, mate.
Where is he?
Warn Dog.
Destroy.
Destroy.
Right.
How you going, mate?
No good.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know. Like, this is man flu on steroids. I'm not joking.
Now, is it compounded by the fact that you didn't make the best calls with your fantasy team over the weekend?
I think that didn't help, to be honest.
Yep, it would
I
have.
absolutely fumbled it, and I think it's made me 10 times sicker.
Well, you've been overthinking. It's probably not good for your head.
Well, the thing is, I haven't overthought all year, but there was no straightforward answers this week. That was the problem.
So
Right.
what did you end up doing this week, and did it pay off?
Oh, well, if I didn't trade, I'd be in the top 100, so there's your answer to that one, Cal.
Yeah.
So I went Chris to Sarong because I've decided I'm going to chase points, so I chased that matchup, and
Yep.
it obviously failed miserably.
Well, if you took
And
away
then,
his 3 goals in 3 minutes, he still would have only beaten your player by
can't do
12
that,
points.
Dog. Can't do that. What was the other one?
But no, you're right, Dog. It shows that I was on the right path. And the other one was Simpkin to Rankine, who's now suspended.
Oh, wow.
Not good.
That's
No,
right.
But hey, that's what you do. You just roll with it and on to next week.
Well, the thing is, you've moved up, though. You moved up 10 spots. So 112th overall now. Knocking on the door, you're 17 points off 100. So that's up from the 41 points you were last week. So
Is that all?
24-point swing. So you've still had a good week.
Yes, amazingly.
That's ridiculous.
Yep.
That gives me confidence that I'll be in there this week.
See, this is what concerns me. Roy's here saying all the bad stuff that he did right. I
Yeah.
swear they're adding his scores up differently again.
He's just scored 100 more points than you.
Yeah, I know.
22.72 for anyone playing along at home.
Now, Roy, Dog's a bit up and about here today, for the record, with his score.
Have
and
you
his
ever
players
seen
and-
someone defeat
God.
someone by 244 points that tried? That wasn't a ghost ship team.
I didn't try.
How did that happen?
I don't know. Once again, Roy, not adding it up right, but obviously adding yours up right. Mr. 17 points outside the top 100.
Yep.
This is it. It's happening.
I couldn't have been any more clear when I stopped you and I said, get in Connor Rozee,
Yeah, I know.
and that will give you the money to fix your team this week.
Yeah, but I went so wrong, Roy.
Oh,
So
that guy.
wrong.
He's wrecked everything this week.
Hasn't he?
How
He's
did
made
that
me
happen?
sick.
Yeah.
He has given me the flu.
Yeah, he has given you the flu.
Well, we'll get you to go to work, Roy, and send us through, tweet us or text us through your trades, and we'll talk about those when we get to that part of the show, so we can see what you're doing, because people want to follow you and see what's going on. I am a little bit excited to see what you are going to do on your deathbed with your trades, because I reckon they're probably not going to be the clearest of thought through things at the moment.
No, they're not. But can I just say one thing that was salt in the wound, and you guys obviously would have experienced it as well. Cal, you brought him in. Warnie, you put a VC on him. It was just I was so close to being good. Like I was going to get Dunkley instead of Sarong.
Yep.
Now, that turnaround is
That's a lot
a
of points.
ridiculous amount of points.
That's a lot.
We're talking about how far out am I? 17 points?
Yep.
Yeah. That
And
would have
look
been
at
plus
that.
70 or
that
something,
would have
wasn't
been
it?
60 or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, unbelievable. So there's still a lot of room for movement at the top if you just bloody switch on.
There is. You're going to finish in there, Roy.
He will.
And to motivate you,
Yeah.
we were going to hold this off until until you got inside the top 100, but
I can't hold on any longer.
we can't hold on any longer because we thought after
you
your
doing
weekend you might slide. any
Well,
further.
no, he
We've got to
needs
keep
this.
you close.
The man's on his deathbed here, dog.
Yeah.
He needs something to get him up and about, and this will do that.
All right, Roy. Thanks, mate. We'll talk to you later on. I'm sure
All right,
you'll
see
go
you.
back and listen to this epic podcast afterwards.
I reckon.
20 times, I reckon.
Anyway, thanks, Roy. Talk to you later. Look after
See you.
yourself.
Catch ya.
All right. So
Okay.
what we're talking about is his song.
The song,
So,
hit it.
Calvin, you've been working hard on this.
I have, and I work with the bloke that I work with at school. He's a music teacher.
Right.
So we've sort of worked it together. A lot of digitally, in the music industry, it's called digital editing. So we've done a lot of twists around it.
Yep.
But yeah, together, him and I, we've put this, it's a masterpiece.
It is a masterpiece. All right, here it is. This is Roy's Hat.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
By Calvin.
Yep, hit it.
Who's gonna win our hat? Hell yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Victory in his grasp. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. He's the best on the team.
There it is.
Hell
the
yeah.
world premiere.
Well.
Of Hell Yeah.
Now, that's only a snippet of it,
So
dog.
it is a snippet. We will play the full song at the end. We just wanted to have a little
and look-
45 seconds little sample of it.
Apologies in advance. This will get stuck in your head. You will wake up at midnight going, hell yeah, hell yeah.
Could be number one on the charts.
Well, it will be. On the fantasy charts, it will be, dog.
Number one fantasy song written. Might knock off We Are the Warned.
That was a good one, though. Now, there's a film clip.
There is a film clip.
So get around
we've
that as
posted
well.
that on social, so go and check it out.
Once again, apologies in advance.
Fully grown men.
Grown men we are.
Doing our thing. And we did actually put that out for the media and, the AFL family to see. So they did get a pre-screening of it.
Yeah.
And when Damien Hardwick was asked about it in his press conference, this is what he had to say about our exploits making a video clip.
We've got to grow the up, to be perfectly honest. Excuse the language.
Well,
We do.
We do.
Thank you, Damo. Yes.
You are an old man.
We do.
Doing that. It was very good. Good, fun song, though. All right. Let's get into
I
what
can
we
see
need to
people
do.
are fast forwarding right now to the end of the podcast.
Just to go and get that.
100% they are.
Yep. Make sure you go back and listen to it. But they probably already skipped this bit
I reckon.
because they want that. Anyway, you'll be able to catch it all on social media.
Here it is!
That's what you did, Jenny. You stuck it right up them.
All right.
Oh,
I got
Here we go.
a power-up on Saturday afternoon with Butters and Rozee. They were on track for 5-12, Cal,
Yeah, right.
between them at quarter time. 147 in the end for Rozee and 136 for Butters. And it could have been a bit more, but Kenny subbed him out.
Management, just looking after him. He's had a really big year and he gives me too much. He gives me everything he's got and sometimes, you got to look after him a little bit.
Kenny,
No.
management,
Well done.
just looking after him. Come on. The Warn Dogs needed some more points, but, I did get enough points, though, from my players, so it's not too bad, Ken.
that is by far their biggest scores for the year. And I'm not
Yeah.
even talking just. It is kissed 101 on the same week. Unbelievable.
That was good. It was a
was.
nice little matchup. We definitely needed that to happen. Cal, who are you giving your +3 to?
Quickly here, I'll go to Simpkin. No one saw a 106 coming, did they?
Roy definitely didn't.
No. So, yeah, he can have it because there were some average players who did a lot worse than that. You got to think, that's 40 points more than Sam Walsh.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a minute.
And about 40 points more than what he scored last week as well.
There you go.
No good.
It was the most disgraceful display I've ever seen.
Because it's just not acceptable.
Segue into Sam Walsh, 66.
No good.
Right. Sarong, in the easiest
Your trade
matchups.
target.
Yes, 77. Tagged by Jack Graham.
We didn't see that one coming.
No, not even
That
Tag
wasn't
Watch.
even
Tag Watch saw
Tag Watch
that.
saw that.
Didn't even see that.
Hashtag.
But I'm not even going there. I'm going to Errol play out a full game Gulden, right?
Skipper.
90 points. He had 87 as my number one pick.
Yeah.
Who did not turn up for the last quarter. He took a kick very, very late. Little three-pointer. Got him to 90. Please, mate. That was a 120. Little Pirate would have been a little bit of swag, but no, back in your box, Pirate. Unbelievable.
Yep, not good. I'm going to give mine to Alex Sexton for his 55. By far my worst player on the field this week. He's got to pack his bags, basically.
yeah.
72, 79, 55. His run's over. We're hearing that Weller's back in round 19.
Yep.
It's game over. He's been a great member of the team twice.
Yep.
He came back in, obviously. But scored all right. Like, it hasn't been a disaster of a pick at all. But just these teams that were able to move him a week or two ago, like these better teams,
Yep.
they just have that leg up. Now, he has to go. It's interesting. We'll talk about our trades later on. But the weekly winner for round 17 was Matt's teams, the Roids, not the Roys, the Roids, dominated. So that was a 26-10.
Wow.
That's how many more points than you is that? That's near 500 points.
That's 199 more than you.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot.
I had a 1,200 round rank, I think I did for the
Yeah,
week.
that's a good
Something like
that's
that.
good effort.
And then the overall leader now, Pom United, Thomas's team is back up into number one. So had a good score of a 2,300 there. Not epic. Not a 2,400 like Warn Dog.
No, far from.
We saw the teams at the top had lower scores.
Yeah, they're starting to tighten up, dog.
They are.
Those top runners. Yeah, they're starting to choke.
The choke.
Yeah, teams like...
Someone's got a Bradbury it over. It might be Roy.
Yep. Teams like us are just going to come right over the top of them at the end.
If you are looking at the hat watch, we talked about Roy there knocking on the door. He's 17 points off 100th, so 100th place is the Amati affliction. Ooh. I like it. That's good. Jared's team there. 35,235 is what you need at the moment to be in the top 100 to win one of those prestigious hats. Can't wait till we win ours.
That's right.
Right, votes are in for the Michael Barlow medal. That's our cash cow of the year for round 17.
Now, let me award the 5 votes. Bit of a proud dad moment for me. He's seen Colby McKercher return for 37 disposals and 123 fantasy points. Now, that's the biggest score from a cash cow this year. And how good was that run down the wing, dog?
Was epic.
Unbelievable.
Now, it's been a long hold since round 2, but Shaun Mannagh was worth the wait for some coaches there. The mature age cat scored 115 thanks to a whopping 14 tackles. He received the 4 votes. And then 3 votes goes to Caleb Windsor, who hasn't missed a game this year. He knocked up his first fantasy tonnage career after 25 disposals, 7 marks, 5 tackles and a goal for his 114.
2 votes goes to my D6 here. So Logan Evans for his 88. He racked up 16 disposals, and it was the 9 marks that built his score. I know, ridiculous. And finally, 1 vote goes to Harvey Thomas. He scored 81 on Saturday night in the Giants' win over the Blues.
Now the leaderboard has Colby's 5 votes.
Come on.
Got him right up into 3rd place now. He's got 23 votes in total. He trails Jeremy Sharp on 32 and Ollie Dempsey on 26.
Here's the news of the week you need to know on the official AFL Fantasy podcast.
Few pieces of news that are somewhat relevant to our fantasy teams this week, and then some not so relevant. But, a couple of tall timbers there for the Pies.
Yep.
Brody Mychek, peck. Ouch.
Yes.
Season over for him. Now, Darcy Cameron went into hospital but cleared of any damage on his ribs, so might be right for this week. Be a watch, though, definitely. Yep. On Saturday, Touk Miller subbed out with his wrist. If we remember back to this time last week,
I remember this.
I was going to pick him up.
You were going there.
I'm so glad I did.
And I was like, just do it, dog. Look what happened.
You knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, moderate.
Nostradamus.
That's it.
Sam Day in that game, plantar fascia issue for him, so that will be an issue, of course.
Yep.
On Saturday, Butters was subbed out.
Yeah.
Pure management, though.
So he played 65% game time.
Yeah.
For that 130 odd.
It's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
Imagine what that could have been.
Big time.
Well, as I was doing the maths, 512 they could have had between them for the game.
Don't.
Anyway, it's management. Nothing to worry about there. But in that game as well, Norton was concussed. He was subbed on -3 with that concussion. And O'Donnell coming off the long run with concussion there. Now, Dangerfield, he was subbed out. Basically a tactical one, though. They were just looking after the old man. It's a wonder he didn't put on a little bit of a performance.
There would have been something. He would have put a little bit of mail on it somewhere.
Big one, and he's a big man.
Yes.
That's Sean Darcy, concussion. So he'll be missing this week.
Yep.
And I guess we'll see, well, I think it means good things for Luke Jackson.
For 1 week only, but yeah, it's a play. We'll get to it.
Only. We'll talk
We'll have a look at that
later. Draper had a bit of a corked leg, but he hopefully will be right. He was good too. Draper was very good in that game.
Oh, dog, please.
Oh, no, that's wrong, Draper. That's a Fremantle Draper. I just wanted to talk about Draper. Drapes was good for the Bombers.
Yeah, okay. All right. And just quietly, Bombers got a good win, dog.
They did.
Yeah.
Up and about the not 244-point win, but it was,
might as well have been.
Might as well have been. Now, Max Gawn cow on Sunday subbed out with that ankle, so rolled it. He was hobbling around. Like, he didn't look great out there.
No.
And that was causing some whinging too.
Look, we'll have a look at it, but he can be considered as a trade.
Really?
Yes, you can do it.
Yeah. All right. So he was walking fine post-game, so he should be right. Goody basically said he's all good.
Okay.
So no dramas there. Cozzy Pickett hurt his finger. What else do we see? McGovern, ribs, and lung or something there for him.
You need your lungs.
You do. Now, probably the best news.
Oh,
this is sad.
You can't say that.
You said this when you were writing down your tag watch comments.
I don't know if I did.
Oh, you chest puffed out. Windhager.
Yes.
Hamstring.
Yes.
Right. Who was he going to over the next
Well,
couple of weeks?
it most likely would have been a Jordan Dawson maybe this week or someone like that. But yeah.
He needs every little bit of help he can get, though, at the moment, Jordan Dawson.
He does.
Not having
He
Mindy
does.
on him. So it's big. Starcevic out with concussion. So he was subbed out of the game, and that's off the back of what we saw there with Izak Rankine, who we don't know that yet because that comes out this afternoon. But
I know.
He will be suspended.
He gone.
He gone.
Yes, he gone.
Charlie Cameron, hammy for him, possibly. He went back out there, though, so just to watch on his leg anyway.
Yep.
See whether he's going to get up this week. And Mitch Hinge, a bit of an adductor injury
Who
for
took
him
him
as well.
You like that? Play on.
Right.
Yes.
So the MRO, we talked about Rankine there.
Yeah.
But an even bigger story. Well, Rankine Roy picked him up this week.
Yeah.
That was a bad call, Caro.
Well, it was just bad luck.
Yep.
Anyway.
He sucked early too.
Well, you got to 74.
Yeah. Like
which
that
is
must have been a big comeback. A big
a
comeback.
lot of yelling from Roy's bed, I
Would
reckon.
have been.
Yeah.
But the big MRO one that we don't know yet, because
Yep.
that's this afternoon as well, was Izak Heeney with what he did to Jimmy Webster, because claret was pouring out of his head.
It was. He gone.
Is he?
Yeah, I think so.
There's some arguments, and I see some people argue. I see some of them with like pictures of Sydney Swans in their avatars,
Yes.
saying how he shouldn't get off. Some people probably writing a couple of dollars on him at the Brownlow as well, thinking he shouldn't get off. But I don't know. We're going to get the MRO, and there is no doubt in my mind that they won't challenge whatever the outcome is.
Agree.
So,
So here we go. So let's say it's a 1 week.
yeah,
What do you do for 1 week?
I think I'd try to hold, but my trade would probably be about the hold.
Yep.
So it would be that bench cover.
Could you trade him out? If we trade him out, we've got to trade him back.
I think so.
Yeah. As a
Well, you
forward.
think so. He's in the top 4. And
Easy.
he's a safe sort of dude to have.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. In a way, I don't want to think about it until I see it.
Well, like, is
But
it
he's
a
going to.
week? Is it a 1 week play where he goes out, Luke Jackson comes in,
Yeah.
and then you just switch it back?
You just got to make sure your finances are going to be intact for it.
Well, that's it. Teams like me, though, we don't get to play around with fun things like that.
No, exactly. We've still got bigger issues.
We do.
I'm in the same position as you.
You're not in the same position as me. Your scores
No.
get added up properly.
That's all right. Yeah, because I'm about 9,000 spots higher than you.
Yeah,
So
that's
I'm
correct.
9,000.
That's not 9,000.
It is.
Don't add Danger Mayo on it. It's about
1,900.
Yeah.
And you're 10,900.
Yeah.
That's 9,000 spots.
It's close. It's close enough.
You should resign.
Get on with it. Get on with it.
I should be here by myself today doing this.
God, that'd be
Get you-
boring.
I'll tell you what, it should be an insightful podcast
Yeah, it
talking
would
about
be.
all the great things.
It's be the Warn Dog hour, I reckon.
Nothing to talk about out of the Magoo's news these days because we just have to
No, we don't.
except Ferrini had 157. Big boy. Leaky, keep your eye on him for next year. Just don't bring him in.
Yeah.
Kingsley, just let him be a cash cow for us next year. 15 good score. But those are all those little Pies kids. Not that I think they'll make any change, but Finlay, he had 109. Bytel, 100. Sullivan, 100.
Yep.
We did have some DPPs come in.
Whoa, they're going to drop, are
They're exciting.
they? Come on.
So many of them.
Who have you got?
No, there weren't many of them.
Oh, what?
And not many of them are exciting.
Irrelevant.
The biggest ones would say is Darcy Tucker. He's had like an 80 and a ton in the last couple. Got defender status now. Yeah. Zach Williams. He's gone forward.
He has.
Might be nice flexibility to have.
Draft, maybe?
Yeah, but you want him playing as a defender where he actually might score some more.
That's correct.
Is that what you do? Yeah, not a lot really going on there that you're going to talk about. Liam Henry, if you got a deep lead.
Yeah.
Because he's now got forward status. He came home all right, I think, on the weekend.
I think he finished up all right. He had an 84.
Yeah, oh, well, that's good. That's fieldable in
Well,
most draft leagues.
That's his highest score this year.
All right.
So,
Against the Swans, though.
yeah, well, that's it.
So you can take that.
You can.
Anyway, so they were the DPPs. But let's get into our big issues, I guess, and this is what we're here for, Calvinator, is that we've got trades to make.
We do.
2 trades every week. Use them or lose them.
All right.
Have we got forced trades this week? Maybe.
Potentially. So let's...
where do we start?
we
Do we start with Rankine just because Roy did that?
Yep.
He's going to be suspended and you have to trade them.
He
don't you?
goes. Because he's not in the big 4 that Roy talks about in the forward line, right? So, yeah, he's just in one of those little F6 guys that pop in, pop out. There's a little blanket that goes over them. So he can go. That's easy fix.
Yep. So, and then we'll talk about the forwards. I think we'll have our forward focus to begin with, and we'll look at Rankine is going to be in that mix of those guys that you are trying to fill out that F5 and F6 position. We'll talk about some of the names there in a moment, but while we're here, Heeney, if he's out, you can trade. The simple thing is just going to Caldwell if you don't have him.
Agree.
So that's what you would. Is that what you would do? Do you think?
Would I go straight? I'd love to go straight to Caldwell.
Yep.
But I'm still trying to get that rookie off my field.
Yeah.
So,
but you still need to score points.
You do need it. And Caldwell's, what's he got there? 133 in his last
actually
three.
worth more than Heeney now.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Wouldn't surprise me. So he's up to 912. Yeah. Break even 62. Like, he's moving and moving and moving.
Oh, was I right on saying that? Maybe I was wrong.
So, no, well, if not, it wouldn't be far off. His form is elite. And he's just taken that midfield role by the scruff of the neck.
Yeah, no, I'm right. Yeah. I'm very rarely wrong.
No, I can imagine. You're on fire at the moment. So, Caldwell, he's the number one target to go to.
Have to be.
He's in the big four.
Yep.
He's in the big four if you don't have
That's
him.
what you got to do. All right, so let's have a look then at some of these options. And these are the ones that we have talked about filling out that F5 and F6 spot. We need Roy with his role in 22.
We do.
But I don't think he'd be confident in nailing down who these guys are. It is going to be an interchangeable position.
Yes.
And you could you be doing some of these 1 or 2 week plays?
People like Roy can.
Yep, they can.
Yes, they can. But people like me, probably not.
Let's start then with Dylan Moore, who's been good in his last couple with 127 and 119. They have been against the Eagles and the Cats.
Correct.
But he's back down in Launceston this week, playing against Freo. Is that a favourable-ish matchup?
Yes, it is.
Right.
Yep.
Okay, so he's at 825, so you're actually still paying a fair bit for him.
You are. So he will possibly turn up again down here.
Right.
Yep. The other one to look at, which is about 100K cheaper, and that would be Matt Kennedy coming off 3 tons in a row.
I was worried last week because of that knee.
Yep.
But he still came out and turned up.
Well, danger Mayo on that, obviously. He's fine.
Is that what he is?
But
Anyway,
he's been getting the CBAs.
Yes.
Okay, so he's in the guts. And Roy talks about this all the time, how
his
role is very...
His score is role dependent.
100% it is. But for this guy, it is magnified by 10 because if he's not in there, he's done.
Yep.
But last week we saw Chera and Hollands get an increase in their CBAs.
Yes.
But it didn't affect him.
No.
He turned up again.
So he only had like 30% CBAs or whatever.
Yeah, and he hit it again. So this week he's got... who have they got this week? He's got Bulldogs.
Okay, so should be all right.
Well,
regardless of role.
What did Rozee and Butters do to him? Like so, and then he goes into North Melbourne. So he's got 2 good games coming up. So
Kennedy's probably the choice then, isn't he?
At 100K less.
Yeah.
I think he probably is.
Part of it too, and this is very team dependent,
correct,
if you want to use that term, on if you need to go the cheaper options, there's a bit of safety in that as well.
Yep.
Because it doesn't hurt as much of Rozee versus Sarong cow.
Yeah.
Yes, the result, you didn't predict that happening. And you were trying to get that instant reward with Sarong against the Tigers. But
it was nearly 80 points difference.
Yeah, for what, 100K maybe?
Yeah. Oh, more.
Yeah.
More. But the other thing to think with Dylan Moore there is that he's had those 2 good matchups in Eagles and Cats.
Yeah.
You don't get those again.
No.
So I think we've got Kennedy.
Depends on the fixture. You probably do in some cases.
Well, that's true. I think we've got Kennedy ahead of Moore.
Yeah, okay. With probably a little bit more risk because I think Moore can just get it done.
Agree.
That's probably my thing. All right, I threw out here Luke Jackson with that 1 week play if you want, 689K. So a bit cheaper than Kennedy, but when you've got a 6 in front of your name, you're able to do stuff. I'm thinking if you've got that sexy move.
Yep.
So Sexton has to go this week. If you've got him in the forward line, I think that Jackson could be a good option, especially if that cash can help you with whatever you do on the other side of it.
So he scored 104 last week.
Yep.
He scored 67 in the second half when Darcy went out.
Yep.
Okay.
The hole was subbed out at half time.
This year, he's played without Darcy on 7 occasions at an average of 93. Last year, when he played without Darcy, he went at 99. That's what he could be this week. He could be a high 90, even hit a ton again. He's only up against Meekie.
Yep.
Down here, Utahs. Sam De Koning last week scored 106 against Meekie.
Yes.
So you would assume, based on all that there, no Draper, and he's only up against Meek, he could hit 100 this week.
And that's what you'd want.
And that's why you can go Heeney to Jackson and then back to Heeney.
You've just got to
If you need to.
cash managed, though, because you're still going to need, 200K
Yeah.
to get back.
And I
to
think
Heeney.
you could do that with a rookie down off the
And
bench.
again, this is assuming Heeney's out for 1 week.
Or, agree.
If he's out for 2 weeks, could you do it? So this is the other thing. Could Jackson still be a play if Darcy is back?
Well, yeah, he's been scoring okay. It's not great. So
You're just getting that nice hit this week.
Well, then
you
he
should get a nice hit this
He
week.
comes back so once Darcy comes back, if you need to keep Jackson around, he's got Melbourne and West Coast.
Yeah.
So, I don't mind it at all. As far as the fixture goes for forwards with that, they're both green teams.
All right, here's some fixture interestingness. After Jy Simpkin, which most people were trying to trade out last week, although I did see on the Twitter sphere, mate, Darren, coach of Wise Ocean Pods, he brought in Simpkin this week.
He brought him in.
Most people traded, it was 1,200 people traded him out. There was a couple of hundred that brought him in.
Wow.
And Darren brought him in and got that 106. It was against Gold Coast, and they did win the game as well.
Correct.
That's the other thing in that to think out. They've got Swans, tough.
It is.
Carlton, tough. But then they go into Geelong, Richmond, West Coast, Western Bulldogs, Hawthorn.
Yep.
Do not that Melbourne have the softest draw to finish the season? They'd have to be up there, wouldn't they?
To finish the season.
Yeah,
they
last
do.
5.
Yep, they do.
The thing is about a Simpkin, though, do you want him there for those? Is a player like that in your finals team? Well, I guess he can be with a draw like that, but you are backing that in, aren't you, from here? You're trying to... If you're buying him now, you're probably almost buying him as a bit of a keeper, not that 1 or 2 week play because of the hard matchups in the next couple.
Yep.
And then he's got the easy ones.
I think he can sit there as an F6 for a bit.
I think he will for me now.
And that 106 last week only just goes,
Well, it brings his break
can't-
even down.
I can't move a guy that's tonning up.
No, same.
Right?
Exactly.
But I can see why people do.
He's gone from a bit of a priority to trade to a lower priority trade for me.
Yeah.
He was probably in my top 3 to trade before, but now he's only top 10.
And that's where people like Roy, who are in these good positions, he's moving Simpkin to a better player, which is Rankine.
And probably this is why those teams up the top had those poorer scores
Yeah.
this week, because they're
Just didn't
in
go
this
their way.
luxury moving trading period.
Yep.
And we're getting away. You got away with Logan Morris getting 88.
He's
Is that his name?
Yeah, I think that's his name.
Dawson?
Yeah.
Lawrence? You didn't...
No, it's
What's his
Logan,
name?
Logan Evans. Logan Evans. Old Logs. But yeah, I am. Whereas people, I got an 88 from him.
Yep.
And I got a 66 from Walsh, a 77 from Sarong, and Roy got a 74 from Rankine.
Yeah.
These are valuable points, Doc. Especially with these guys trying to get hats or cars.
Now, worth talking about these names because they were hot property last week to talk about, and that was, we'll start with Myers.
Yep.
So, only scored 67. Disappointing.
It is.
Very disappointing.
Against the Hawks.
Should have been a decent one. He's got a decent run to come.
He does. But it's a Collingwood, Bulldogs, North Melbourne. I don't know.
I couldn't buy into someone who just had 67 last week, considering, too, what his run of scores. He's had a couple of good ones prior to that.
Yep.
But the run leading into his bye were average as well.
He's capable of 67s.
Yeah.
He is very capable of 67s.
So it's not worth buying that.
No. And the other one we looked at was Elijah Hollands.
Got the role.
Yeah.
The role was there. That would have been one
Yep.
of his better CBA games.
But it was GWS away. That's a tough matchup.
Yeah.
So, and then this week he rolls it into Bulldogs.
Yeah, so he had 45% of the CBAs, which, he had a little run there with some decent ones, but, that was good for him to have that.
You talk about this bit because these names are disgusting. You do it.
They are.
Yes.
But you've got to cater for everyone. There's still people listening now, Cal, that have teams like yours.
Correct, but I'm not even going in these areas. But do it. Off you go.
Okay. Only because the eye test was there.
Okay.
Friday night, Harry Jones. He's been playing the wing the last couple of weeks. 72 and 82. Not massive scores to write home about, but at 448K, could he be your F6?
For the Brave only.
For the Brave, yeah.
Yes.
If you were 2 rookies on field, one of them could go there, the other one could go to a Colby or something like that. Yeah.
Maybe.
Don't know. Phillipou's the other one, who obviously had 117 on the weekend. Big game.
He's woken up.
$408,000 he is worth. He was great in the VFL. Last 4 there before getting back in the side was at 112.
Yeah.
Was he in there for Paddy Dow, who was out with an ankle?
Potentially, but I think that his start to the year has been so bad, they've sent him back to the VFL and said, mate, get your act together.
Become a midfielder.
And he's come back here, 63% CBAs, the third banana, and just went, okay,
Steele,
bang.
yeah. Yep.
So, no, he was very good.
Steele was 100% CBAs in that game.
Was he really?
Interesting. Who they got? Adelaide, West Coast, Essendon?
Yeah.
That's a pretty handy
run. It's a nice little
So
run.
if you did want to shop, I'd be going Phillipou or Philippou over Harry Jones. If I was choosing between them, and he's a little bit cheaper there as well.
Dodgy areas.
Yeah, but if you just needed to go there, maybe this is where we segue to this. If you were going cheap and had to play cheap, and it could be that play to hold on to your Heeney, and that's Shaun Mannagh, 293k years. So he scored 115, 14 tackles, as we heard about in the cash cow of the year. Break even of a negative 32, and plays against Collingwood, which should be favourable-ish matchup.
Got to get that trade done on Friday night, though, dog.
That does hurt a little bit with that. But he's probably the one. So in that case, that might be if you've got Harrison, if you've got Freya, who was sub on the weekend as well, move them down to Mannagh, and he could be your cover for Heeney that week if you're not being aggressive and trading Heeney.
Yes.
Because you've got bigger issues. Because that then can still let you trade our Sextons out.
Yep.
And we're just taking Mannagh and hope he scores 115 again. But what if we're being realistic? You take your 70 from him.
You do.
Which is still probably
Sexton
an
can't get
overscore.
70. Sexton doesn't get 70.
Well,
so
55 on the weekend.
Yeah.
But, so that's what you would try to do, I think.
Oh, I think he's got the vest and all this is behind it now.
Well, they
after
need
a game like that, 14 tackles.
Yep. Talked up too. Other rookies just worth mentioning there is Lawson Humphries. He's got the defence as at 294. He's been solid. Yep. 77-69 if you're looking for that. And it might be, it's interesting that conversation about cash gen, and it's cover as well though.
It is.
You may need them at some point.
Yep.
Or at least give you that flexibility to make a decision. It might be the looping that's part of it, or also just the fact that something might happen too late in the round.
Yep.
That is an issue. And that had me sweating on the weekend because I had Freya, who was the sub, and I'm going, if I lose one of my forwards for whatever, a laid out, I'm getting a sub score.
Yeah.
That sucks. Monash Wakefield, he's up to 275. He was better on the weekend with a 71. He's got a minus 13 break even. Your boy Hutchison, if you want to shop a little bit cheaper, as the forward there, 224k, 64 out on the weekend.
He's good.
Was he?
He had a lot of tackles, actually.
Yeah.
Yep.
Joe Fonte, he made his debut for the Giants. Pretty much came in for Ash, I think. Yep. So he had 66, 224k defender. Got a couple of nice-ish games against Gold Coast and Richmond coming up. Yep. So worth a look.
We need to quickly mention a couple other positions, though.
Yeah, let's go.
Just in case, because we're all not shopping in the forward line. But defenders, Colby off that 123. I said to get him last week. So remember my 2 trades last week?
How much did he go up? He must have gone up a heap.
He went up a lot. So
find that.
This time last week, I said I was getting Rozee and Colby.
Yep.
Didn't do either.
Imagine. See, you would have... It might have only been a 150-point loss.
It could have been.
This week.
So at 667,
Colby went up 75k.
Yeah, so he's definitely a worthy option to get a rookie off your field.
Definitely.
Would you consider, at that price there, dropping a premium as such down to Colby for the cash?
No.
It's dangerous areas.
No.
You wouldn't do it?
No.
Okay. Tom Stewart.
Unless you really needed to. Unless you're upgrading a rookie to someone that you really desperately want and need.
Because some of these top-end players, and we'll talk about them in a sec, like your Dunkleys, they're getting up there now.
Yeah.
And they're dominating. They're going to be the difference.
So like a bit of a position shuffle.
I think
such,
so. Tom Stewart, he's back in the guts.
Yeah.
He was there again.
Yep. I think you could go all in on this. So you pay, what's that, about 80k more for him than Colby. Who would you go? Is that 80k worth paying more for Stewart?
No, it's not.
That worked for him, though.
It did.
They had their most CBAs, didn't they?
So in the last 2 weeks, he's had the most again.
And what looks nice about his game is that he's that defensive mid, goes back.
Yep.
And so we'll do the things that made him good before and not copping the bloody tag.
Another one is...
Which I traded him out for.
Yeah. If you don't have Whitfield, You might want to get him this week against Richmond.
Okay.
That matchup.
So he's sort of the premium that you want to
With that
aim
said,
for.
though, potentially, but with that said, though, I watched that game quite closely, the Freo Richmond one.
Yeah.
And they were really pressing and not allowing your Ryans and your Jordan Clarks
They
to
still
get
got their
those.
tons, though, didn't they?
They did,
Or close enough to it.
but it wasn't what they've been doing in the past. So
You
don't
predicted
forget,
higher because you went Ryan as your VC.
I did. So last week when Nick Newman played against Richmond, he had a 143
Yeah.
and was allowed to do what he wanted.
Yeah.
They pushed up here and wouldn't allow that to happen this week. But Whitfield, you would think, in that matchup, should be awesome.
Let's look in the midfield then. Rozee is still the bargain buy of the week of the sub-premium priced players, 774K.
He went up 60 odd.
Yeah, you just got to have him, don't you, Cow?
Oh, you do. You do. And especially when you look at the other guys around that, like a Dunkley, it's 200K difference.
It's ridiculous.
200K difference. But,
Well, what about Dunkley against West Coast this week? What can he do?
well, we need Dunkley. So
Should've done
since his buy, he's gone at 116 and 139 in his last three.
Why didn't I make him my captain?
He feels we say it every week that he pads the stats and gets all
Gets it done.
in every area, but he's taken marks.
Yep.
He's going back and finding the pill.
He's good to watch.
He is. So he will be high on the captain list, you would think, this week.
Brayshaw at 887K is helping Roy win the hat. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, because he's had a couple of good scores now in the last few weeks.
Yep.
He's found his hunger.
He's had a couple of poor ones
Yep.
though before that. That's the thing.
But he's found his hunger. He's sort of the middle price there between your Rozee and your Dunkley.
Yep.
But coming up, so he just had a really good matchup against Richmond and scored really well. Hawthorn this week at UTAS, then into Melbourne Green Team, West Coast Green Team, Essendon, Geelong Green Team.
Right.
So he could be someone to move you up the ranks, and he's not going to cost you an arm and a leg like a Dunkley.
I don't think you're shopping in these areas in the midfield. But Dylan Shield.
Oh, you
scored
and your Bombers.
114. 26 touches,
it.
8 tackles.
Stop it.
Yeah, 585 though. This is where you should shop, Cam.
No, I'm not shopping with Dylan Shield, although that's like 50 points more than what Walsh got.
Yep. Rightio. Let's have a look at the rucks to finish off sort of our trade talk stuff here.
Only because if Max isn't up.
Right, okay.
Okay, if Max doesn't get up or they give him a week off
Or
or
who do you go
whatever.
to?
The scale says Tim English.
Right.
So with Carlton and Geelong coming up, we got, so last week against Carlton, Kieran Briggs 136. Against Geelong, Meekie had a 94.
He's in form too. Now,
English,
as
yeah.
well, English.
117 he's gone at in his last three.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
you don't want to go to Marshall.
Don't you?
No.
Why not?
You
Marshall
don't-
still turned up on the weekend.
Oh, mate.
Marshall still turned up when he had Dum-de-Dum in the team with him.
Last 7 weeks, average of 99, dog. We're not going there.
Have you had him for 7 weeks?
I've had him for 7 long
And
weeks.
what did he do before that?
Oh, man. So he was averaging 118 when
I just wanted you to say it again.
118.
Can't believe you spent $1 million for that.
Well, I thought he would at least keep going, but no, he didn't.
I don't know. It's tough. But English, if you're purely going on scale of hardness
And form.
he's got to be the one that you do it. Could you do it as if you're in that Roy position, could you do it and take that on?
Max hasn't been Max.
No. Dinner play dance and not running well either.
And even
Had
on the-
that, I want to actually hear Roy's analysis of him now that he's watching every second of football.
Well, the thing is, though, he was back at the MCG. Listen to his last 3 scores. 71 last week, 77, 98.
Yep.
So since his bye, he has not turned up. Into the Essendon matchup this week, which they're a red team as far as rucks go. So it's not overly nice for Max. In fact, in his next 5 games, he goes Essendon, orange team, Freo, orange, GWS, red, Bulldogs, orange, Port Adelaide. Oh, they're midfielders. Wrong one. Anyway, so Essendon, wrong scale. So Essendon a hard matchup. If Max isn't there, he goes to English.
Right.
There you go. Simple as that.
All right. Why'd you write Briggsy here?
Whereabouts?
Oh, no, that's just...
No, that's what Briggs got against Carlton.
Right, okay, that's...
So as far as the scale goes, he should be fine.
Because you're not picking Briggs.
He's not picking Briggs, but geez, he was good.
Okay. All right. Let's move on. Sorry, Calvin. I'm just a little bit lost here. Normally Roy would say something there. What do you got to say, Roy?
No, not a lot. He's preparing his hat size at the moment.
Need to be big.
Oh, no, he's got to get that, dog. I can feel it in my bones.
All right, let's have a look at the most traded players ahead of round 18. Shaun Mannagh is the number one, so that downgrade there, I think he's a great option with Colby second on the list.
Let's go.
Proud dad there. Rozee, Dylan Moore and Jy Caldwell are there in that top five. Now, the most traded out, Alex Sexton, and I think the reason for that is obviously 55 on the weekend, and his days are limited. They're numbered. Joel Freya, Bruce Revel, we've got Billy Dowling and Joe Richards. So what my takeaway from that they've all got forward status.
Yeah.
Those players that are being traded out. So it might be that upgrade. Could even be that F7 sort of play that some coaches are trying to do, which could be an interesting one this week, especially if we do have the Heeney issue. So that
Agreed.
What are you doing for your trades, Calvinator?
I'll be going Luke Jackson for a 1 week play, hopefully, and Colby, which gets Sexton and my last rookie, Logan Evans, off my field.
That's nice. Well, Calvin, not often that you say it first and then it's me, because you normally copy me. We're doing the same ends, and that is Luke Jackson coming in for Sexy, and then Colby is coming in for Tom Powell.
Okay. Yeah, it's time for him as well.
It is. Now, Roy did send through his trades. What do they look like? He's going Sarong. He traded him in last week for Treloar. Oh, Rankine to Kennedy. He traded him in last week. They are purely rage trades, I reckon, for Destroy.
He's right and he's wrongs.
I do believe that's how his brain would be operating at the moment. But stay tuned later in the week. We'll be talking about those more.
Got a question for the traders? Tweet the boys at AFL Fantasy or head to facebook.com/AFL Fantasy Official.
Okay, you can be hitting us up on social, and quite a few people have on Instagram. As we mentioned last week, we've gone over 20,000 followers on there, which is good, which they'll be able to see right now.
Oh, the
Roy's hat. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
The film clip for that is a reel. Go and give it a like.
Yeah. This will break the record on the internet. It'll break.
All right, first question that pops up here has come on Instagram. That's from a bloke called Jonty Fox.
Ah, Foxy.
Sort out Calvin's captains.
Hey, it's been okay this week.
Has it?
Yeah, my captains were...
I got a 77 from my VC and a 90 from my captain.
My captains this week were high in the rankings, actually. Thank you very much. So I didn't have Sarong in there. He wasn't in my top 5. I had Dunkley. I had all the others.
Okay, we didn't talk about this bloke, and we should have done, I reckon.
Go for it.
Trent Rivers, trick or treat, or trap or treat. If
Trap
you want to
or
go
treat.
with the Calvinator parlance there.
He was good.
He was good, very good. He's in that midfield, which he was last week when he didn't score as well.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? So 123 against the Eagles last week.
Yeah, so you've got to take those ones with
Before
a grain of
that,
salt.
a 62 against the Lions. It's really going to be up to his draw. I hate to say it here, dog.
And what does the scale say?
The scale says for Trent Rivers. So he goes Essendon, Freo, GW. It's actually the worst run you'll ever see in your life.
Just quietly, too.
It's a trap.
What about those people that were talking about Clayton Oliver last week? Holding him. They got the ton out of him.
They were loud, weren't they? Genius move.
How did that go this week?
Did you see what he had?
It was awful.
37, I think.
Was it that? He might have got a couple more than that.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to quickly get that up here, dog. Clayton Oliver last week, 45.
Yeah. 40 heaps more than 37.
Wow.
Josh is saying, is Sexton a got to go? I think he is, but, geez, it'll depend on where you are with your other issues.
Yeah, look, he does have to go. He's probably...
Because he might play this week, or he should play this week. It's just that next week. He could be a drummer, but he scored 55.
That's it.
Like, you've just got to move these guys. We can't afford to hold that now.
And that's it. Like, there are rookies scoring more than a 55.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he can go.
All right, next one here comes from, is Tom De Koning a ruck option? Could you go there? He's priced to be up there a bit too much now.
Tom? Yeah, he's been really good. He's been really good. So, what's he averaging this year, dog? Because he's smacking it. He turned up again. I've got him in one of my draft leagues. So he had a 111.
Yeah.
But geez, his price would be up there.
Hang on, De Koning.
Yeah. So he's going at 80, 89 this year, but he's gone at 113 in his last 5. So, yeah he's been smashing it.
So, yeah, hang on, what's he worth? He's worth $8.24. I couldn't spend that.
We're not spending that.
I couldn't. Is Sarong a trade? I think you hold him, don't you?
No, I'll tell you what. Now, he can go. And I am dead serious about this because you do not get a better matchup than what you've had. You haven't scored over 107 since round 8.
Yeah.
Right? And I've been saying it for the last few weeks. There's something not quite right with him.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he's carrying
Been
an
saying
injury.
that about you for a long time.
I know, and I'm carrying a lot of things. But he's not doing what he used to do. Now, Jack Graham tagged him on the weekend. Jack Graham is not a tagger. But goes and stands next to him, turns him into a 77.
Yeah.
You just can't do it. So this week they've got Hawthorn out here. Maybe Connor Nash goes and stands next to him from time to time. I think he can go. Why would you keep him? Great draw coming up.
Yeah.
But just had that, and you failed. I'm with Roy.
It's just who you need to get, who you can get to, though. And are you that confident they're going to be that much better?
This
so
guy
Roy's saying Treloar.
You count how many times Treloar's gone over 107 since round 8.
Yeah, well, that would be better.
Sarong is not getting it done.
All right, Paddy Tool has got this one. Is it Colby?
Yes.
Save $400K to get my last rookie off field, or do you go straight to the top? So let's talk if that's in the defence.
Well,
do you go to Whitfield?
This is your last rookie off your field.
Yep.
You go to the top.
Yeah.
Why are we trying to
what
save?
are you doing with that 400 now?
Yeah. What are you going to do with
Unless you're spending it.
Yeah.
You want points on field, don't you? Cash on field.
Yeah. And as much as we love Colby, Whitfield's better than Colby.
Yeah. So let's be realistic. What's Colby averaging from here? What do you need him to average then to be successful?
I think for the rest of the year, he could be an 85 to a 90.
Okay, is that enough then?
It is for the time being. To get a rookie off your field, it is.
Their draw opens up as well.
It does.
We know that.
And Fisher probably comes back next week
See,
or
this
the week
is the other
after.
one. And a few people have sort of said, this one comes from Shaun on Twitter. Sexton to who? Fisher, if he's back, is the question.
Yeah.
Could you go back to Fisher?
You could.
The foot worries me.
It does. Now, this is a guy that's been subbed twice this year already. Colby had 11 out of the 11 kick-ins last week. No one else had one.
Yeah.
There's 33 points. Bang. Yeah. And knowing Colby, he probably went and got it back off him again. So, and the week before that, Fisher was the guy, took 7 out of 7. So, yeah, he will take some of the kick-ins when Fisher comes back. Could you go back to him? I definitely think we need to see a full game before we get back into it because he could be sub. He could be.
Since you've been gone, John's got this
John?
one. Are you just trading F5 and 6 each week based on matchups given no consistency? Now, is Kruger a cheap F6 option if he's R1 with Cameron's injury and Cock's still not available? Don't know if Cameron's going to be missing even.
No.
But if he is, and if it got a bit of time, you could actually, if you've already got, I wouldn't buy into Kruger, but if you had Kruger on your bench, you could roll with that if you needed to play that rookie.
To cover a Heeney this week.
Cover a Heeney or even just you're upgrading because you might as well go there instead of someone that you don't really want.
Agree.
That's the issue.
Yes, you could.
Like you're going into your F5 and 6, whoever you're bringing in this week in those positions, you don't have confidence in them.
No way.
You don't have any confidence.
You look at the scramble that it was last week. Simpkin goes 106.
Yeah.
Myers goes a 60. Rankine goes a 70. Dylan Moore goes a massive, a nice big ton. You just don't know what you're getting week to week.
So Sean's other part of his question before was Fisher, but then Myers or Brad Hill, because he's got a nice run for wingers for the rest of the year.
He does, and he's been all right. This is not an area that I tend to go shopping in.
Yeah.
So he had basically a ton on the weekend with 10 marks.
Yep.
Before that, though, he's gone a 77, 59, 59, 69, 50.
But it's not about what they've just done.
No, I know, but it's showing you the way that it's...
that can happen.
Yeah, it's a no.
And one of those could have been a nice matchup, and that's what he gave us.
Agree.
Because this is the other part of these nice matchups that we're buying into that we keep saying. Is it the be-all to end-all? Like, so wrong.
Well, there you
we
go.
didn't see the Graham tag coming,
No.
but...
Tag watch failed me that day, dog, didn't it?
It did. Simpkin or Moore? So we talked about... Did we say Moore?
Where Moore was miles ahead.
Of Simpkin, but there's a lot of price difference between those two.
Yeah.
I would love Simpkin if it was those last 5 round fixtures now, but what is it? Swans and
Carlton,
Blues.
and then he's got 3 really nice ones in a row.
Or 5 really nice ones, isn't it? Mm-hmm. To finish the year.
Go more.
Just do it, yeah. Rysat says, did Dylan Moore bully Roy as a child? Surely he's in the role, and probably is. He might be 1 hour of today when he's doing that.
Well, I think he's been in it before, and he just lets him down every time, like these forwards are doing. That's the problem.
Cal,
yes.
This is the question. You probably looked at this, did you? From C. Baker 03. No, you wouldn't, because you don't know how to use Instagram. Any backline premiums you'd cash out to cash in for Colby? So who did you say?
Okay, the only one that I'd look that I would look at cashing out on would be I hate to say it, but like a Hayden Young. Now, he had 16 CBAs, but he spent a fair bit of time forward.
Yeah.
A fair bit of time
That's what his
forward.
role's been those last couple.
It has. So, yes, he scored well. It was against Richmond. But when does that drop off?
Yeah.
What about a Nick Martin, dog?
Yeah.
Would you get rid of him?
Nah.
What about these top teams?
They could. What did Nick Martin have? 97?
That's what he's been doing lately.
Yeah,
Just
79, 93.
Look, he's been all right. He's not doing what he was doing.
He's got the Saints in a couple of weeks' time.
Okay.
Melbourne this week.
Yep.
Crows.
Yeah, all right.
There's matchup. Yeah, I'd stick with him for now.
Yeah. So there's probably no real defenders there you'd look to get out of.
Hayden, if Heeney gets off, can Dowling go early and get Sexton up to Heeney? So could you bring in Heeney if Heeney gets off? Yes,
of course you can.
If you haven't got him.
Yep, definitely.
If he's out, then Day to Treloar. So Will Day, his fixtures look all right, but he was average on the weekend.
He was. Yep.
Anyone that held him through the bye there, he was a great selection ahead of the bye, like getting into the bye, but you needed a move then, didn't you?
He had the matchup last week against Geelong.
Yep.
And he's come out with a 72. Did not take a mark. So, no, he can go.
Todd has got this one. Lads, I'm ashamed to say this, but I'm thinking of fielding a rookie this week over Sexton. This means I can loop my rookies, Kruger, Mannagh, Dowling with DPP, and get them to anyone under 900K next week. Is this just wrong?
No.
It's
Because
sad,
they will
you
all
can do
score
that.
more than Sexton.
Yeah. Johnny T, hi legends. Can we seriously trade Max to ex-Airy, Marshall or English? He is going to cost someone getting a hat also. So can you do that? And if it was, you'd go to English, wouldn't you, Cal?
Oh, I'm saying yes.
You're in a luxurious position to do it, I reckon. But it could be a good game-changing one. Also, Matt Kennedy, a viable candidate for F5 and 6 position in Rowan 22. I think he is.
Yes.
Has to be.
Big time.
3 tons.
And as we said, he hasn't had a lot of CBAs.
Yeah. Brendan, Battle of the Spuds, based on position, break even there, run, prioritise these potatoes. Oliver, McRae, Sexton.
Jeez.
Oliver and McRae go first.
Yes.
But Sexton's got the coin and has probably got the job security that's going to say goodbye to him sooner.
Wow. Sexton goes first.
We'll hack the system. We'll get the 3 trades a week back.
It goes Sexton, McRae, Oliver.
So just back in Oliver.
Well,
He scored 43, didn't he?
Yeah, he turned up the week before. I'm not saying back him in, but that's a pretty average 3 to pick from.
Some requests here for the Rolling 22. We might have to get Roy to do that next week.
Yep.
See if we can get that back.
And just interesting to see how he does the forwards. That's the thing.
That's a blanket.
Like the criteria.
Week to week, it's going to change. Like our trades could change for that position.
Yes.
A few questions there. Mattaes Phillipou for F7. Is that where you could get Phillipou?
Yeah.
F7.
Yep.
And do some looping there.
You could.
I guess the thing is with that whole F7 or your 23rd man, that forward position, you wouldn't have wanted to stretch for who's on field for you.
Yep.
Does that make sense? Like you might have your Simpkin.
Yeah.
That is worth that. You don't want to have spent for Dylan Moore as F6 or whoever, insert player's name here. Just have those more average players so you can loop between them. Because you feel like if you're spending over 800K now for Dylan Moore, you don't want to be looping him.
No. Yeah, it's an interesting position some people are in looking at those options.
Well, we mentioned this, I think. Finn said Stewart or McKercher. It's McKercher.
It's Colby, yep.
That's not just from Cow's Love. I had that worry about him getting managed, but he was pretty good, wasn't he?
Yes, he played a normal game.
Yeah.
Normal game time. But, yeah, don't expect a 123. And here we got Tom Stewart coming off a 125. But I just think that Geelong being Geelong, who knows? He could get a rest at some point.
Yeah.
I don't think he's had one this year, Tom Stewart. Am I right by saying that? Yeah, he was out in round 7 for what might have been an injury, though. But
Was he suspended?
Might have been suspended. So,
whatever, I remember, and I held him through it. No, it was concussion.
Concussion, it
That's
was.
what it was.
Yep.
And I held him, and I should have traded because what did he do after that?
After that,
Yep.
83, 64,
Yep.
55. Yep.
Far out.
Good. That was the time I enjoyed.
That's where I'd be in the top 100.
Oh, you wouldn't be anywhere near it.
Top 1,000, maybe.
Yeah,
If
right.
I'd have made that move.
Yep. And I'd be in the top 10K, mate. Yeah, good.
Well, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you sticking with us here with No Destroy.
No Destroy.
Hopefully he'll be right, and we'll have him back on Thursday night when we go live at
6:15, and you can catch that on afl.com.au or the AFL Live official app.
We will be there. It will be fun as we look ahead to round 18. Good luck. We'll have all the news by then, especially of what is happening with Rankine and obviously Heeney and any injuries that might pop up through the week as well. Keep your ear to the ground, and probably the best place to do it, your eyes to afl.com.au and the AFL Live app, because that is where you find all the info. The best place to go.
It is. Now, you're going to play the full song
yep.
now.
So,
aren't you?
yeah, full song. And don't forget, you go and check out the little short film clip that we've got happening on our social media channels at AFL Fantasy everywhere.
Now, the full song's better than the short song.
Yeah, there's a couple of good lines in there.
Good lines, good. And it's
one of them, Roy's the hero now.
Yeah.
And that's genuinely.
It's called digital layering.
Is it?
It's how we talk about it in the music industry.
You are a fly.
So you'll hear it. So it'll come on towards
Thanks to
the end.
your co-writer, Suno.
Yep, that's it. There you go.
Anyway, thanks very much for listening. Enjoy, Roy's hat song. Hopefully Roy can get this hat. And
This will lift him.
This will lift him.
Get
Get
him
off your
out of his
deathbed, Roy.
deathbed. Come on.
Harden up. Get
Come
up
on,
and
Roy.
about. And we'll see you next time.